We got to get in championship shape. That's not good. Rick, you got an issue with JJ Redick's comments.
Conditioning wins championships, right? I could have said that a little stronger. Championship, conditioning wins championships. That's a lot like what Nico was saying, basically. Right? I mean, that's what he was saying. Do I have a problem with it? No, I have a problem with him saying our roster. Dude, let's call it what it is. These comments are for Luka and Luka only. I went down the roster. Gabe Vincent, he was in shape. Dorian Finney-Smith, like, I can't find Jackson Hayes. I can't find a guy on that team that played as if he was out of shape, except for one. So let's call it what it is. And this is the reality. You know, we really focused in on this when Dallas made the decision to trade Luka. But the fact is, going all the way back to 2020, his second year in the league, coming out of COVID, his trainer over in Slovenia, because he went back to Slovenia, said he's not in shape. You can go to December 2021. I can find you an article from ESPN that has Luka saying, my conditioning has got to be better. People are going to talk about it. I know I've got to do better. 2023, same thing. This has been a chronic issue with Luka Doncic, and he will get in shape, and then he will get out of shape again. There is a lifestyle approach that he has to change. So let's just what I love is that Luka said, hey, you know what? JJ reminds me of the European coaches I had, because European coaches, they don't equivocate. Like, they're going to tell you how it is, and they run the show. And they're going to tell you what they need. It is a coach-run system, not a player-run system like the NBA. So I have no problem with him pointing it out, but let's just call it what it is. Yeah. For us to win a championship, we're building around Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic has to get in championship shape. Period. Yeah. Why are we dancing around the subject?
That's really well said. Shady said something yesterday in the pre-show. He was like, yo, go look at Luka Doncic when he first got into the league. He was dunking, he was doing this and that. So I did exactly what Shady said. And he was right. I mean, Luka, when Luka first got into the league, was in elite championship level shape. You talking to Luka, put an address on it so it don't get lost in the mail. That's what I say to it. Like, put an address on those words, JJ, 100%. So it don't get lost in the mail. If you're talking to Luka, talk to Luka. Mm-hmm. Now, the only counter is you can suggest it's hard to look like you're in championship shape when you play every starter, every second of every minute of the game that you have to win. It's hard to look like you're in championship shape, JJ, when you're making those types of bonehead decisions. So I also like some self-accountability. Again, last block, there was a lot of self-awareness. Who am I? Who are they? JJ, who are you and who are your players? JJ, you probably could have acknowledged, hey, you know, I got to be cognizant of the fact that my players aren't robots. My players are humans. I can't play them every minute. With that being said, I need my guys to get in championship shape. I would have loved to see both of those things be true. I don't think Luka should have gotten hurt off that hit to the shoulder. It's been a physical game of basketball this playoff run, so I would have liked to see some accountability as well.
Now, you said you was a backup, right? Mm-hmm. So you understand this better than anybody. The head coach ain't gonna talk to the superstars a certain way. He got to dress it like this. That's why I can't put an name on it, right? If you're trying to make a point to me, you're not gonna say in the media, I need LeSean McCoy. You're not gonna say it like that. You're gonna say however you're gonna say it, but the message gotta go to me. It's like I remember when I would watch tape, right, and I might have do something wrong, and coach, hey, Shady, I need you to do this a little better. All right, cool, coach. I might do the same thing again, and he'll yell at the backup to get to me. That's the same thing JJ Redick's doing, and I respect it because you can't throw your superstar under the bus, right? But now, closed doors, it's you and him. Hey, man, look, bro. Hey, I need more from you, man. Yeah. I need you to be coming here in shape. You see LeBron James, how he comes in there? You see how I need you to be like that. That's cool. So the way he handled it, I like that. Yeah. And I think it's true, though. If I'm JJ Redick, I'm taking the Andy Reid approach, right? Behind closed doors, I'm a approach him the same way. I need you to be better. I'm going to go to some old tape. This is what you used to like, man. You scoring a lot of points now, but I'm going to show you all the old tape when you actually can see some abs. When you actually can see, you know what I mean, where your face ain't all chubby. I want to show you these tapes because this one you were dominant, right? And now you think experience comes with that, and you obviously get better with time. But I need to get you back in shape because we cannot win if you're not like that. We talk about the defense. He never could play this great defense. Yeah. But when you was lighter, you was more in shape, you gave more effort. That's the approach you got to give at Luka because they will not win a championship if he's in this type of condition.
It's two things for me here. Number one, I don't have a problem with it at all.
At
all.
all.
What I mean? Because if you're the coach, you should be able to call out your players and all that type of stuff. And it's one player that hasn't been in shape in years. We're sitting here talking about Luka Doncic like this is the first year he hasn't been in shape. Luka hasn't been in shape in 3-4 years. Luka hasn't been in shape. We've been talking about in shape. So obviously Luka's not tripping because Luka's not changing it. And I don't know if it's because he's still playing basketball at a high level. I have no clue, but I don't mind you calling somebody out saying you need to get in shape because you are hurting our team not being in shape. And it's not hurting them scoring the basketball, but it's hurting us on the defensive end to be able to be an elite defensive team because we got to help off of you every time. Get your butt in shape. But I'm going to talk about JJ Redick because I ain't seen him pat his chest yet. And you are the coach. Every single time you get up to the podium, it's something else, it's somebody else. Yeah. It ain't never been this. My bad. Hey, I didn't lean on my assistant coaches. I played us all in the second half. That's my bad. I wanted to go down. It ain't never been none of that. It's you walking off the podium for people asking solid questions about your coaching. And then at the end of the season, you want to talk about people being out of shape, which is okay. I'm not tripping. But since you've been the Lakers head coach, I ain't seen you get up on one podium and pat your chest like that's on me. He hasn't done that as a head coach. And to me, that's a problem. And I don't know the relationship he has with his players. I'm going off of what I see. And you can call people out, but pat your chest sometime. I coach Little League football, and I don't make no big dollars. I make $0. But I always tell my kids, blame coach. Don't blame none of your teammates. Don't blame none of that. When you get in the coaching mind, well, coach called to play. Coach, blame me. You know what I'm saying? I'll get on you guys myself in film because I ain't going to deal with the parent, but blame me. JJ Redick, get up there and pat your chest, bro. You are the head coach. Yeah. I understand a lot of things went wrong in this series, including you playing against Anthony Edwards. But pat your chest, man.
You make a great point. If I'm the coach in this situation, I start with myself.
Come on.
And then I start talking about everybody else. And Shady, I agree with you. It's what coaches generally do. They're not going to call out the star player, but then don't bring this up because we know who you're talking about. But you're just shading it. And if you're going to have a personal, you're going to have a one-on-one conversation with Luka about this subject behind closed doors, then do that. Don't bring it out and pretend like you're talking about the whole team when you're not. And the way he could have navigated this, and it would have addressed what you're bringing up and what you're bringing up, is to say, hey, look, I have personal experience with this. When I was at Duke, I was out of shape. I was living the wrong life. And Coach K came to me and told me the real. And it transformed me into a player of the year. I suddenly got serious about my off-season training and being in condition and being the best conditioned player on the team. And I ended up leading us. And I ended up being player of the year. So he can speak from personal experience. This is what needs to happen. And you know who he's talking about. You know why he's talking about it. But he's not doing this shadow dancing of, hey, we all need to get in shape. Like, I push back on that. I know coaches do it, but the best coaches, you're either going to go to them directly rather than this, I'm going to call them out in public, but I'm not going to call them out in public. I think that doesn't show the guts that you need as a head coach.
Now, what if behind closed doors he gave that speech or he gave that scenario about him at Duke, right? He might have did that.
Okay.
I think overall, as a coach, your responsibility is to address the public, right? Because this is what we have to do. What happened, what's wrong, and all that. And I think he probably did that. He said, hey, we could be in more championship shape, right? Now, that might just be to the team, but he know who he's talking about behind closed doors. And that's why I don't have a really issue with it. I think he probably could have said it's more of like my first year. He could have blamed a little bit on himself. He didn't do that. Yep. I think give me some more of that. But I think behind closed doors, he might have said, hey, Luka, yo, dog, what's up? I need more from you.
Let's hope he did. Let's hope he did. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.